Morning, welcome back. Hello, howdy everybody. So let's talk about some National Football League football a few days before we get started with the playoffs, and I'll throw in my own predictions because why not? But of course, hedging because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We're still technically in the 2020-2021 season of football, so your guess is as good as mine. Now, Green Bay, they get the bye in the NFC with a 13-3 record. And the next matchup is a team that would have had the bye if not for the expanded playoffs, which is New Orleans, who are 12-4 and are favored by 8.5 points. The line that I saw, anyways, over Chicago, who are 8-8. This game starts at 4:40 Eastern time on Sunday. I guess the question is, does Chicago have a chance? My answer would be they have a chance because they're going to take the field. It's a playoff game. It's a one-game winner-take-all. But I like New Orleans' chances in this. The thing is this: when it's a big point spread like 8.5, I'm always tempted to say, you know what? I'll say this game stays close and maybe go below the 8.5. But again, that's always my natural bent is when the spread is that high, I would go against the spread, not going against New Orleans to win, but saying, if they win it by 7. You can come out and win some money, even though, New Orleans still won. They just didn't win by more than 8.5. So, yeah, for New Orleans, honestly, it's not going to be easy, of course. Trubisky's got a lot to prove, but I don't see any reason why New Orleans shouldn't be able to get past Chicago. So moving on to the next game on the list, which is the 3rd versus 6th seed. So this is 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. The 3-6 game, of course, is Seattle and the Rams. Here we go again. Seattle handled the Rams the last time they played them, 20-9. Seattle's 12-4. Rams are 10-6. Would have been 11-5 if they'd beaten Seattle that last game. Seattle's favored by 4.5 points. This game's on Saturday at 4:40 Eastern time. So that'll be 1:40 Pacific. And the 4.5 point spread for Seattle, they should be able to cover that. I don't give the Rams a lot here. And I was looking at some articles on, where people might see upsets. And I know there's some people taking the Rams. I can't see it. I can't see the Rams taking out the Seahawks. The Seahawks, 12-4, very, very good team. And it doesn't really surprise me that much that people might be betting against the Seahawks, because even though Wilson's unbeaten at home, it's just the Seahawks, to me, personally, I don't think they've ever quite got the respect that I thought they should get. So, yeah, I would go with the Seahawks. So, the Kevin Malone magnet lasts another week. That's Washington. Yes, Washington won their division at 7-9. They look pretty impressed with themselves, don't they? Against Tampa Bay, who are 11-5, they're favored by 7.5 points. This game takes place Saturday at 8:15 Eastern time. And here's the thing: there's less than zero pressure on Washington. None. This is a team that's expected to just lose. This is a team that's expected to be cast aside by Brady. I'm surprised that the biggest point spread is New Orleans here at 8.5. Tampa at 7.5. That's really odd, but anyways, that's how that whole thing works, right? I can't see Brady losing to Washington. I can't see it. I can't. But I mean, as humorous as it might be if he was out and the Patriots were out of the playoffs and all of that wonderful stuff, I can't see Tampa Bay losing. I think we end up with Tampa Bay, Seattle, New Orleans, and Green Bay playing next week, and we get things going that way. So we'll see whether or not that's the case. But let me know, of course, in the comment section below who you think is going to win those games. So we go over to the AFC, where Kansas City, 14-2, lost to the Chargers. I don't care how many players were out. I don't. The fact the Chargers go to 7-9, which to me is a victory. To me, it's a victory. And then they fire their coach. Prime Chargers move right there. All right, we had a pretty respectable end of the season. Well, we got to finish that. We got to fire the coach. There you go. So, yeah, Kansas City 14-2. They're home and cold. And the number 2 seed is Buffalo. So they would have had the bye if not for the expanded playoffs. 13-3, favored by 6.5 points over Indianapolis, who were 11-5. This game's Saturday at 1:05 Eastern time, so this is the first game to be played. And this is the year Buffalo has to win this game. If Indianapolis goes into Buffalo and wins this game, especially considering Buffalo's going to have fans in attendance, I don't think that's going to be well received by Buffalo faithful if the Bills lose in the wild card game against Indianapolis. So we'll see how it goes. But I do believe that the Bills were playing the best football going into the playoffs. They're 13-3, like I said. They're tied with Green Bay. They're one game behind Kansas City. And this week they start to prove it. So for Indianapolis, if Rivers can complete a touchdown early, if they can put pressure on him, who knows? But I do like Buffalo's chances this weekend. And then the game that we're all going to be paying attention to, this is the last game of the weekend, actually. It's round 3 between the Steelers and the Browns, and what a glorious playoff matchup this is going to be. Because Steelers and Browns fans, on Twitter, it's something to watch them go at each other, isn't it? 12-4 was the final record for the Steelers. They're favored by 3.5 points. That is the lowest point spread of any game. Cleveland 11-5. They beat the Steelers, but of course, any Steelers fan will tell you it doesn't count because it was Mason Rudolph and most of their players, and it doesn't matter. And you guys are just stupid heads. You're the stupid heads. No, you're the stupid. Like, it's just it goes ridiculous. Look how dumb they are. Look how dumb they are. And you both win. That's awesome. Everybody wins. Those are my favorite arguments. So I've had that before where two people argue over which person's made the stupidest life decision, and they'll argue about it, and I think to myself, you both won. You both made the dumbest life decisions. So yeah, we'll see between the Steelers and the Browns how this turns out, but I guarantee you this is going to be very entertaining, and it's very smart of the NFL to save that for the last game of the weekend. Really. So looking forward to that. Tennessee Titans 11-5, Baltimore 11-5. Baltimore's favored by 4.5 points. I like the upset here. So in the Steelers versus Browns game, the fact that the Browns head coach has tested positive for COVID and they're still having it go through their locker room, I think that works against Cleveland. So I think Pittsburgh ends up winning this game, and I think 3.5 points is probably underrating how much Pittsburgh should win this by. Having a different voice as the head coach, having staff members testing positive and players, I don't see how Cleveland overcomes that. But in this game here, I legit think Tennessee can beat Baltimore. Tennessee is at home. Tennessee has beaten Baltimore before. It's not that outside the realm of possibility. Baltimore's favored by 4.5 points. This one's on Sunday at 1:05 Eastern. I do like Tennessee's chances in that one. And we'll see. I mean, I think this one's going to be close. Again, the point spreads tell you that they think Seattle and the Rams are close, Steelers and Browns are close, and the Titans and the Ravens are close. But again, for me, I think I'm agreeing with whoever the favorites are in every game. I'm kind of thinking Titans. And I understand that the Titans didn't look that great going into the playoffs. The Titans have been a Jekyll and Hyde team. They and the Colts both have been Jekyll and Hyde teams where one week they'll look great and the next week they look terrible. And I'll go ahead and go out on a limb and say that they beat Baltimore. But we'll see. This is why they play the games. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, as always. Who you guys think are going to win these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video, and it's going to be fun to see who comes out as the winners this weekend. Keep in mind that for me, hockey doesn't start until next week, so I'll be able to give these games my attention, and we'll be able to do a look, I'll say on Tuesday. I'll be able to take a good look at the next round of playoff games where Kansas City and Green Bay will be included as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for all your support. The channel passed another 100 subscribers as the channel continues to gradually grow, and thank you guys so much for that. I will talk to you again soon.